Hello, aviation colleagues and friends. Happy New Year. I am very excited for 2025 and have the highest of expectations in our aviation and aerospace industries for this new year. I'm also very happy and quite frankly, I'm very honored to be able to kick off my aviation career podcast and webcast with a very dear friend and an amazing business and private aviation industry colleague who is starting his new year by being honored as a living legend of aviation, the Eren Ozmen Aviation Entrepreneur of the Year Award. And it's coming up as the 22nd annual Living Legends of Aviation Awards Gala taking place on Friday, January 17th at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills. I kind of like to call it the Golden Globes of Aviation Awards because it actually takes place in the very same room as the Golden Globes. All said, I'm dedicating this entire episode to Kaye Gitibin. Kaye is the co-founder and CEO of Go Rentals. We all know Go Rentals, particularly those of us in the private and business aviation sector. What makes this year particularly special, though, is that Go Rentals is celebrating its 30th anniversary as the elite car rental company for business and leisure travelers, requiring the ultimate in vehicle quality and customer service. Man, I almost sound like a commercial, Kaye. Kaye, welcome to All Things Aviation and Aerospace.
Thank you so much, Vince. It's an honor to be with you. You're a dear friend and always been a friend and a supportive of me and Go Rentals. So appreciate the opportunity to be on your podcast. Happy New Year to you and all your viewers.
Well, thank you. Happy New Year to you. You know, I used to live in Los Angeles, and I used to fly out of Torrance, or some people call it Zamperini Field. And I used to fly a lot down to John Wayne regularly. And I remember seeing this small car rental place that I'd never heard of before called Go Rentals. And I remember thinking, nice cars, interesting idea. And, you know, that was then one location, and now you're over 250 locations. I mean, this is amazing, and it's all now coming. It's kind of like everybody knows you, but now the attention or the spotlight really is on you guys and who you are and what you've done and what you're continuing to do. How do you take all that in? Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been 30 years. And I think I've known you over 25 years, Vince. And when you used to fly to John Wayne, you would see this younger guy that is running around washing cars, tracking planes, working with his brother and trying to grow a business that started with 7 cars. And because we didn't have much money and we didn't have any education in general aviation, so we had to learn everything the hard way, and we made a lot of mistakes to perfect our idea and the culture to be a general aviation car rental company. So we always say we are not a car rental company, we are an aviation company happen to rent cars. It's been an honor to build a relationship working alongside people like you and our partners and clients across the country and provide this 5-star service and hospitality to our aviation guests, from pilots, crew, all the way to the passengers, dispatchers, schedulers, all the people involved in aviation. So it's been truly an honor to be part of it and being part of this living legend. I couldn't even dream about it. When I got the call on December 13th at 4:08 p.m., I had to pull over. I was driving. I had to pull over because my knees were shaking. And I was so honored to become part of that.
Yeah, I have been at Living Legends of Aviation's awards gala almost all of the 22 years, and so I know how prestigious it is. And some of the company that you'll be keeping that have received previous awards is pretty amazing. So I can only imagine what was going through your mind as this took place. You know,
I didn't sleep for a few days. I say, that was the prank call but it's been truly an honor.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. As soon as I saw the announcement, I immediately contacted you because I was like, man, I got to congratulate him. This is fantastic. A lot of people know you. In fact, everybody knows Kaye, right? But but they don't necessarily know that much about you. So if you didn't mind, I wanted to kind of go back a little bit and ask you a little bit about your family roots and where all of this entrepreneurism kind of maybe started. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think the entrepreneurship started through my grandfather, and he owned. He was an importer and exporter. He had pharmacies back in Iran when I grew up, when I was born and grew up, until early teenage years when I moved into US. And I always wanted to start my own business. And then it got to the point that my brother graduated college, I graduated college, and we saw the opportunity and the niche market in being involved in general aviation. When I was younger, I used to sell soap bars to pharmacies. I go visit pharmacies and knocking on the doors. As I always look older than my age, so I would go in at the age of 12 and 13, try to sell and be a visitor for this soap company and sell soap bars to the pharmacies. And after that, I started selling perfumes and clones. And while I was going through school, and then I had the opportunity and to move to US, which was truly change our lives, our family lives, coming to the country that gave us the opportunity to grow, to study and get educated here and be able to do business and be part of this amazing company. And there's no other company in the world that can offer this opportunity to young people. You can dream, and it's that you can reach as far as you can dream. So I never thought we will be this big in terms of being so influential in GA community and be able to open 250 offices plus. But I was lucky enough when we started a business, we surrounded ourselves with amazing people. At the beginning, Vince, we only had money to buy 7 cars. And we tried to make money with the 7 cars. Anything that we made, we put it back into the business. We bought the 8 car and the 9 car. So 1 car at a time. And when you saw me, probably we had 20 cars at Jarman Airport. It used to be Newport Jet Center at Jarman Airport.
Absolutely.
And then AMR cones and the Newport Jet Center, we were servicing those 2 FBOs, which later on it changed into Atlantic Aviation and Signature Aviation at SNA Airport. So that was the start of our business. We learned the business. We didn't want to open up a business and go try to sell our product. We wanted to open up a business by knowing our clients, our guests, and see what they want and offer them what they want. I think that's one of the reasons we became successful in it, was because we didn't just create something to go try to sell it. A lot of businesses that they go out of business, they go create something, then they have to market it and sell it. And that's why a lot of business in the first 5 years go out of business. But for us, we interviewed our pilots, crew, passengers, and found out what they need, how can be of value to them. And we created a program that we can bring value to our guests. And that's what they appreciate, and that's what they've been looking for us to use us at other locations. And that's how expanded our business across the country. But going back to your original questions, my grandfather is the reason I got into entrepreneurship, and because of working with him and watching him what he was doing.
Yeah, you have an amazing the whole culture of your company has always been about customer service and just about taking care of the customer first. Even when I've come to visit your office, somewhere that will come up in the conversation, and we may be talking about something completely different, and you'll mention how important, or you'll get a phone call and say, "Oh, I had to take care of that because we want to make sure that customer's happy," and that type of thing. But I do want to stick back with a little bit with the entrepreneurism from a couple standpoints. So do you think some of this came from your grandfather in terms of his style and way of doing business that translated over to you and your brother?
Yes, watching him doing business and watching him how humble he was, and watching him, how he built relationship, taught us how to become similar to him, be able to build relationships and be able to be humble and be thankful and grateful for any opportunity that we get. And to this day, I'm the very first person to call my guests and partners every day, every week, to thank you for the opportunity they've given us. So those are the things that, when you grow up, you watch, you see. And I remember that even my uncle would invite me to his office to listen to him and learn from him how he talks to his team. So I try to learn it from my grandfather on my mother's side, on my uncle on my dad's side, to learn what business was all about, and how you have to be humble, you have to take care of the people around you, how creating a family environment in your offices are important. So those are the things that we have I've learned from my family.
So you had mentorship before it was a catchphrase.
Exactly.
Way back in. We all talk about mentors now, which are great. We have them throughout our life and that type of thing. And it sounds like you had a really great example, when you first were stepping out and kind of getting started, or even before when you were selling soap and things like that.
Exactly.
One of the things that I've also admired about what you do and have done with your company is the putting the emphasis back on taking care of your employees with regard to training, and exposing them to things that are going to be helpful to help grow the business and things like that. Share with us your thinking about that and how that comes about.
In any business, the most important part of the business are the team members. And when we started our business, we wanted to make sure we create a culture of a service excellence. We create a culture that taking care of the guests is a priority. To be able to overcome every guest objection in order to go above and beyond what they want. So I give you one example. We always get sidetracked. About a month ago, we had a guest calling our Newport Beach office and says, I'm bringing my wife and I want to rent a Range Rover, but I also want you guys to go to the Van Cleef jewelry store in the mall and buy this bracelet for my wife. I will pay for it, but put it in the car so when we come in, she's surprised because she always wanted to have a bracelet. So our manager called me and says, can I use my company credit card to buy this expensive jewelry? I said, yes. The guest wants it. The answer to every question is yes. Now, what is the question? As long as it's an ethical and legal question, the answer is yes. So we purchased this Van Cleef bracelet for this gentleman and put it in the front seat of the Range Rover. He arrived with his jet. The wife gets into the car and see a Van Cleef package on the seat, and she was, wow, how did this jewelry got into the passenger of the car, passenger seat of the car? So our team understands that we are a hospitality company. A lot of people say, oh, providing service is great. Yes, service, everybody has to provide service to survive. But then we include hospitality into the service. That's how we train our team to be part of this culture, understand that we have to roll a red carpet for our guests. We have to make sure that our guest has an amazing experience. We do a lot of training for our team member, whether in person, via Zoom call. We bring them together at the corporate training center in Scottsdale and Fort Lauderdale. We role play with them. We teach them the etiquette of hospitality, etiquette of aviation, how to greet our guests, how to go above and beyond to create a memorable car rental experience. Because our aviation community, they depend on us. When they bring the guests, the one thing that they always tell us that we have no control over the car rental, and the car rental can ruin the experience of our guests. They spend thousands of dollars to fly their own jet or to charter a jet. If the car rental is not done right when they arrive, the whole experience is ruined. So for us, is making sure our team understands our guest mindset, making sure that we are always waiting for the guest. The guest never has to wait for us. So that's something that we train our team on a regular basis. We talk about it. When you want to create a culture, it's not something that you put in writing. You need to talk about it every day, not once a day, multiple times a day. And when the employee gets tired, you talk more. And you make sure is implanted in the brain that who we are, what we do, and what our mission and vision is.
So you started this early on because you're a really large company now. I mean, you have a lot of employees, a lot of cars that you have to provide. And it probably is obvious, but I have to ask, how do you manage this growth and how do you manage to keep, because you guys still have the feel to me, as an example of being a customer, that you have the feel that you did when you were smaller. So it's still personalized. It's still focused on detailed attention, and along with the training and things. How do you just manage to keep all of that in play?
Inspect what you expect. And that's something that we always train our managers, our regional manager, our executive team. So make sure that the team understands what the expectations are, and we never sacrifice our growth for service. Our service is so important for us that we have to make sure that every guest feels it. It has to be personalized. And so that's why I travel to our locations once or twice a year. I'll make sure our executive team travel to our locations within regions on a regular basis. We need to be in touch with our team members. We need to make sure our team members feel that we do the same thing that we ask them to do. I always make sure when I go to a location, I look at our cars. I make sure that because our cars, they need to be in a perfect condition. We need to make sure that when a guest walks down the stairs from a beautiful jet and a clean jet into our cars, our model is that our car needs to be cleaner than the car they have at home. So our detailing center, our detailers, our car care team, that they really take care of the teams, they pay attention. We train them how to wash the cars, how to detail the cars, how to pay attention to the spots that our clients, our business aviation clients will look at. When we started the business, Vince, I used to, we still do, get a wipe and sanitize every car. And people will ask me, "You're crazy. Why do you do that?" It says, because our GA traffic, I don't want them to catch a cold if somebody else who had a car had a cold in there. And they never saw that as a luxury service until COVID happened. And then they all realized that, wow, now we know why you were sanitizing the cars from 25 years ago. So that is part of our culture. That is part of when we hire our team members, we bring them to our family, we make sure they understand, and we go through extensive interviews. We have to make sure that they understand what ownership means, they understand what hospitality means, understand what going above and beyond means, understand what creating a memorable experience is. We make sure that we give them so many examples of luxury dining, luxury hotels, luxury experiences, so they know who our clientele are, and based on that, they can provide the service to our guests.
So a couple of years ago, I had you on the show, and we talked about the entrepreneur aspect of what you do. And one of the reasons that I had you and another gentleman on about that was because I, as you know, this is a show to inspire young people to pursue a career in the aviation and aerospace industries. And one of the things that I hear very often are young people don't quite know. They know they want to be in aviation, but they don't know what they want to do. And you and your business, Go Rentals, bring such a different aspect of what you can do in this industry. So I thought it was great to have that conversation. And I want to renew that conversation because there are a lot of aspiring young aviation professionals who are trying to figure out what they want to do in this industry. And again, Go Rentals offers something that is unique, but still very aviation centric, and that type of thing. What kind of thoughts do you have about that in terms of inspiring these young people?
There are so many businesses that they need to support the business aviation. from the car rental part, from the car and driver part, from the catering part, from the aircraft detailing. We all involved, we all make the private aviation, because just having a jet and a pilot to fly doesn't give you the whole experience. There must be FBOs involved, fueling companies, the catering companies. We all need to work together to create that memorable experience. You have to find your niche, what that niche is. You have to study the market, understand what areas you can come in and bring new vision, new ideas, and be able to better service and offer a better service to either pilots and the passengers. For us, everybody who comes off of that jet, whether it's a pilot, flight attendant, or the passenger, they're all our VIPs. We take care of them the same way. We give them the same service. For us, price doesn't matter whether it's a $50 car or a $500 a day car. Everybody receives the same service, same quality cars, and same cleanliness. So for our young entrepreneur that they want to get into the business, dedication is so important. You have to work hard. You have to make sure that you sacrifice. For us, my brother and I, we work every single day without a day off. We couldn't afford to hire people, so we had to put in the hours ourselves. And I remember one day when a guest came into the location, and he wanted to compliment me, and he wanted to tell my manager what a great job I was doing. He says, "Kaye, can I speak to your manager?" I said, "That's me." He says, "Okay, I want to talk to the owner." I said, "That's me again." I'm the car washer, customer service manager, and the owner. And I said, "But I wanted to compliment you." And I said, "Thank you so much for letting me know that I'm doing a good job for you." And for us, because to this date, we never advertise. We always use word of mouth for growing. And I'm telling, I wanted our younger people to know that shake hand is so important in aviation. Standing behind your word, honor your word, over deliver and under promise. Don't over promise and not be able to deliver it. Make sure you look into people's eye and shake their hands, and be thankful and grateful for the opportunity you receive from people in the industry. I've always been grateful for the people who gave me the opportunity to grow with general aviation, and so that's something that a younger generation needs to keep in mind. Working hard, educate yourself, learn. I've had people that new generation coming, they think they know everything, but after they join the Go Rentals, we let them know that the day that you think you know everything is your last day with Go Rentals, because we need to learn every single day. We need to learn the aviation industry. We need to learn the hospitality industry. We need to learn who our clients are and educate ourselves in order to be able to provide a better service. One of the logos that we are so proud to put on our business cards is Forbes logo. That we were the only company ever in the 75 years of Forbes history that we were selected as an elite car rental company for Forbes Travel Guide, and that is a big honor that nobody else has ever achieved that. So those are all the mindset and understanding the culture that our team have, and they want to grow within that culture. So I tell the younger generation, join the companies that they have a culture and they can help you grow, but keep an open eye. You have to learn. You have to learn every single day.
And be patient, because we know that young people have a hard time with that. They want it now. They come out of school and they're like, okay, I want to get started, which is great. But I think everything you just said says it all. So you're cutting through all my questions. No, I'm just kidding.
Patience, and also be able to change for better. Change is something that a lot of people are not used to it, but you have to change. You have to change your mindset. With the technology that coming out, with the new you need to learn and be able to change your mindset. You need to grow with the time and be able to adjust and adapt with changes.
Kaye, I mentioned earlier that when you guys first started out, and you were talking about it too, you kind of discovered that the niche of general aviation, of private aviation, of business aviation. You discovered that niche and you decided to kind of pursue it. What was it that, what did you see at that time that made you say, you know what, this is the direction we're going to go, and this is the niche that we're going to stay in as much as we can to grow this company?
We noticed that so the office that we first opened was across from Newport Jet Center, across from John Mann Airport in Newport Beach. And we were seeing that aircraft owners, they arrive and they had to wait half an hour, 40 minutes for the car to arrive. And then we were told, and then we noticed in person that they had a reservation for a large SUV, and a small sedan was delivered to them. So for us, watching that and seeing that how much our business aviation depend on the transportation, they spend thousands of dollars to come in on a private jet to go for a big important business meeting. They have to be there on time. They want to be in a clean car and be in a car that they requested, because there are 6 people or 6 family of 6 that go on a vacation. So it is so important to have the right vehicle, so that to have the peace of mind. So when they arrive, we can get to our meeting and back, or we can arrive, we can go to our destination, we can go to our hotel and enjoy and have our vacation. So watching that, we created our program that we guarantee make and model of the car for our guests. When they arrive, they want a large Suburban, they get a Suburban. They want, they want a Porsche convertible, they're not going to get similar, they get the Porsche convertible. So we want to make sure that we don't interrupt the experience by giving them a wrong car. And we also understood that how safety is important for them. In aviation, as you know, convenience, safety, luxuries are very important. So we make sure that the convenience, when they arrive, the car is there. One thing that we teach our team member, in our guests and our clientele, they can buy anything they want to buy. The only thing they cannot buy is time. And we want to save them time. When they arrive, they can get to their destination, business meeting, vacation, to get home as fast as possible. So we try to save them time.
Yeah, and another thing, as I'm listening to you and talking to you about this, your passion is just exudes, just you're very passionate about the industry. And something I think is real important for young people to know too, going back to that for a second, is that having a passion, then you don't really feel like it's work. And you seem like every time I see you, every time I talk to you, that you really enjoy what you do. And I could say that about your staff too. Everybody seems to enjoy what Go Rentals represents, what Go Rentals does for its customers, what Go Rentals is.
We always say service is our passion. And if you come to our corporate office, and you have been to a corporate office, on a big wall, when you walk in, it says service is our passion. And so from day one, we make sure when we do the onboarding with our team, they know what they have joined. And you have to have a servant heart. And if you don't have a servant heart, through the interviews, we recognize who has a servant heart and who doesn't. And service comes within. You have to be able to provide the best service because you enjoy it. It's not about the recipient, it's about you. When you offer the service, it makes you feel good that you're taking care of somebody. So when you have a servant's heart, then you provide a genuine service. And everything is because our client understand. If the service is not genuine, they understand. And our clientele, they run big Fortune 500 companies. They are business people, they're salespeople, they're bankers. They understand. They deal with employees and team members in their companies. But when they get confronted with our team, then they feel that our team are genuine. Vince, I want to share something with you. I got an email about a couple of weeks ago, and it says customer service issue. And I got the email, and I'm looking at this email, and I can't open it because I'm worried. What did we do that our guest has sending me an email that has an issue with our service? But part of the five-star service is that you resolve the issue as soon as possible. So I opened the email, and the email came from a gentleman that says, I have a big issue with you, your company, and your team, because now I cannot rent from anybody else across the country. You have ruined the car rental for me, because everywhere that I go that you are not there, I expect the same level of service from you, and I'm not getting it. And who do I need to make a complaint to? That was one of the nicest emails I've received, even though the title says customer service issue. And I called the guest to thank him for the email, and he said, I wrote that genuinely because, the way you guys treat me and my family and my colleagues, I can't rent from anybody else, because I expect this level of service, which I'm not getting it from anywhere else. And also, one of the owners of the MBA teams called me one day at 5 a.m. and he thought I was based in the East Coast, and he thought he was calling me at 8 a.m. He says, you provide an amazing service for me. Everywhere I go, the cars I get is amazing. I want my team and my executives to use you. I said, we appreciate that. We welcome that. He said, no, but I want to sign a contract, make sure that they know we have a contract and they're obligated to use you, because you save us time. Because I've noticed when I come to the FBOs, I get into my car and go, and then my colleagues have to wait for half an hour to get their cars. Now, I want them to make sure they're all using Go Rentals, because you save us time and money. Because I'll fly my executives on a private jet. I don't want them to wait and waste half an hour, 40 minutes, get a ride to a terminal to pick up a car. So our clientele understand the level of service. They know we are there only to serve them. At our FBOs, we only serve our GA clients. And they know that if they don't come in, our cars are sitting there. And every location of our staff, our cars are dedicated to GA, to our FBOs and our aviation partners.
It's okay. You are the ultimate success story with everything you've done. And usually success stories, one of the things that I always want to do is say, okay, so you've set great examples. You've done extremely well. You're doing extremely well and continuing to grow. So who are some of the mentors, maybe in the aviation industry or just in business in general, that have inspired you or even maybe given you some guidance as you have grown to where you are now?
I'm glad you asked that question, because all the people in general aviation, I try to learn from them. We go to MBAA leadership programs. I try to learn and make sure what can I do to be a better partner and bring value to them. Because for me, it's not a transaction, it's always a relationship. We don't want to do one-time transaction. We want to build a relationship, and based on that to grow. And I've had so many people that I've learned from. The first one that he gave me the first opportunity at a major FBO was Lou Pepper, the previous CEO of Atlantic Aviation. And he, 25 years ago, he gave me my first FBO location. And he said, because, everybody knows you, you're like a mayor of this airport, and we want you to be part of this FBO when they purchased Newport Jet Center. So he was the first mentor I had, and he helped me with the growth. And then I met many other friends in aviation that that have been part of our growth, individual owners, the FBOs, GMs. Yourself, you have been a great mentor, and from people at Jet Aviation, with John Langevin to David Best, to Signature Aviation from Tony LaFay and Derek Cross and Rick and Scott. So there are so many people that they have been a great impact and influence in our Go Rentals growth. But I'm always grateful to all of our FBO owners or FBO GMs that they see us as an enhancement to their services, that invite us to be part of the family and team at the FBOs and provide a 5-star service to the clientele.
Yeah. Young people have a tendency to shy away from the importance of networking and taking advantage of mentorship opportunities. They they it can be right in front of them, and you can say, "Hey, go talk to that person," or that person can probably give you advice on how to further your career and that type of thing. So let me go back to the advising side of this equation and just say, what would you say to an up and coming young professional about that, about the importance of networking, about the importance of accepting or seeking mentors?
The experience, I believe, it's more valuable. It's as much as valuable as education. But people with experience that they have done it and they have seen the ups and downs of the business, and those are the best people to reach out to, speak to, and try to get advice. One thing is that books are great. We read books. I'm a junkie for service books and how to learn how to provide better books, better service. But then when I sit with the executives of Four Seasons Hotel or Rosewood Hotel and learn firsthand from them, or etiquette coaches and etiquette trainers and hospitality trainers, I listen to them. Those are amazing experiences and amazing live books that I can learn from. So I always tell our younger generation that surround yourself with people that they can be your mentor. Go ask questions, learn from them. And recently I had a gentleman that I had not known. He sent me an email. He's a young gentleman. He just graduated from college, and he said, "I've been following Go Rentals. I want to learn of you." And what he says, your business is very sexy. You deal with beautiful cars, beautiful jets, and nice people. How can I learn from you? So I spent 3-4 hours with him. We go have coffee, and I try to help him to understand the general aviation business. And he wants to later on become a pilot and be involved in business aviation. So my advice to young people is learn, surround yourself with good people. And I tell you, we have amazing executives across the country in aviation industry, in business aviation, that they would enjoy spending time with the younger generation and share their wisdom and experience and the knowledge.
Yeah, I always tell young people, just ask one question and they'll give you a 20 or 30-minute answer.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem at all. Listen, with over 250 locations, you're basically, you blanket the United States. So my next question should be obvious. Is there anything you can share with us about expanding outside of the U.S. area in terms of Go Rentals, and just in general, what I think you've been doing in terms of looking at similar type of businesses or business that would complement what you guys do?
Great. We are looking at of expanding to another 30 locations this year. So the way we choose our locations, we choose locations that are clientele they want to travel to for business. They want to go to 5-star hotels in the area, play golf, or they own a second, third, fourth homes. And that's where our majority of our clients travel to. The 30 more FBOs that we are looking into expand this year, and then we will have all the top tier 1, tier 2 FBOs across the country. We have been getting a lot of invitation from Canadian business aviation. And that's our goal for expansion into Canada this year. And the second half of this year, our goal is to open Canada and go into major airports in Canada. And it's been very overwhelming in the past year and a half. Canadian FBOs and Canadian aviation companies are reaching out. They say, we need your services and products in Canada. In addition to that, Vince, we have had expansion into yachting communities and equestrian communities, because a lot of our guests that they are in sports and entertainment, in equestrian, circuits and they have yachts, they want us to service them in those facilities. So we have expanded our sports and entertainment. We work with majority of the sports team, athletes, with movie stars that we deliver cars to their families, to their stadium, to their training facilities, to the hotels that they're staying at. And so that's another area that we have expanded to. They have a great team that speaks the language of sports and entertainment. They're based in New York, and they service those products to our sports and entertainment. And our equestrian community has been they're all on jets because they're watching us servicing him at the FPO, and now they're saying, we want your services at the polo fields that we go to, or at the equestrian events that we go to. So that has been a big part of our growth, and it's been one of the verticals to our major platform, which is GA.
So it's been 30 years. How are you going to celebrate in 2025? You got any plans that you can reveal, or what's your general feeling about that 3 decades?
So actually, it was a secret. I know if I announce it, my CMO Noel, she's going to be mad at me. But we are planning on having a major celebration at the Schedules and Dispatchers in New Orleans, and also at the MBAA in Las Vegas in 2025. We are giving a car away at each of those events to our aviation community. So we are excited for that. That's how we want to say thank you to our aviation community. So it's going to be we are very excited for it. We having a few parties at this major events to invite our partners to come celebrate with us, and we couldn't have been here without our partners. We couldn't have grown without their support, and truly their commitment to us. As much as we are committed to them, they have made their commitment to us, that they understand and they see what we do and how much we go above and beyond to make sure that the guests are taken care of. And that's been a great part of our growth. So we are very thankful for that. And that's how we celebrate.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so that's how we're going to celebrate. And then I know our CMO has other plans to promote the 30-year anniversary. So they're working on it. And, this 2025 is our 30th. So it's been blessed that we were part of the Living Legend too at the same year that we are celebrating our 30th anniversary.
Yeah, I'm very excited for you with regard to your celebration of your 30th, and what a way to kick it off by being honored as a living legend of aviation. I mean, you couldn't have scripted that if you had wanted to.
I know.
And, as you had mentioned a little bit earlier, I guess people can tell I have a little bit of a cold. I keep trying to shake this off of my voice. But as you mentioned a little earlier, you never had imagined in your wildest dreams you would be where you are now. I mean, when you guys first started out with the little car rental business that could, and now that has and is continuing to grow and everything, that has to be mind-blowing.
Yes, I remember the days that I was going to FBOs and knock on their doors, and I would tell them that this is a service we offer, and they will all say, it's too good to be true. And I'll always say, give me the opportunity. I'll prove it to you that I'll promise you that we will offer this service. If I don't offer that service, you can cancel my contract. And we were able to, one at a time, earn their trust to give us the opportunity to be on the facilities and provide that service. And now we have gone to the point that we're getting FBOs across the country that are calling us, we want you, we want you. And we don't want to sacrifice growth we don't want to sacrifice service for growth. So we have to say humbly, say, no, we have to put you down, for the next year, because we don't want to sacrifice our service. We have to make sure that we are providing a flawless 5-star service to every guest. And the reason we have been successful is because our team and our cars are on site. And we have to make sure, for us, finding the right person to be part of our team wins is the hardest thing to overcome at Go Rentals, because they have to come with an amazing background so we can get a TSA badging to be on the ramp, to pull up cars on the ramp. In addition to that, they have to believe in 5-star service and be able to go above and beyond. In addition to that, we are on federal land, so our team, there are amazing people. We do drug testing and background testing. So it's very hard to find quality people that they love aviation, they love hospitality, they have a great background, and they don't do drugs. And so that has been, but the people that we have in our team, we take care of them. They're amazing people that have been part of our company, and we are grateful to them, because without our team member believing in our culture, we couldn't have provided this service to our partners across the country.
And Kaye, it goes without saying, what would your grandfather say if he could see what you're doing now?
I think he would say, "Wow, he would say that when you were selling soap, you were the best salesman he had." So I was, and he would say, "You did great." But I tell you, this is something that my brother and I, we started together. We're still together. Everybody says, how can you work with your family members? Says, this is the best blessing. For many years, my sister was involved in our business as well, and working together as a family was always a blessing. That you divide and conquer. You
guys actually complement each other, though, yes. And I think that's probably a huge part of that success.
Yes, and it's great to in addition to work with your brother every day, with amazing team members that we have from our home office, our team that are here, and when you go to locations across the country, we have great managers and regional managers and regional directors, and I tell all of our executive teams that we owe it all to our car care people, which are our detailers, and our car concierges. We trademark the word car concierge, which is car and concierge. And so it's our car concierges. They are
very clever, very clever.
Every day they are there and representing Go Rentals to the finest people out there. So my hats off to our team at our FBOs across the country.
Kaye, it's been a real pleasure to have this opportunity to talk with you, to be my first show for 2025, to be the first person probably to interview you about the fact that you're receiving the Entrepreneur Award for Living Legends of Aviation, et cetera. And so I just want to thank you very much for being able to do this. Do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to share as we kind of wrap things up?
No, the only thing I want to say thank you to first of all to this country for providing a home. We're lucky to come in at teenage years with my family to Orange County and be in Newport Beach, California. That's where our home office is, at Newport Beach, California. And second, to our aviation community, from all of our partners at the FBOs, all of our partners at charter companies, flight departments, all the amazing pilots and crew that we work with daily, and all the people involved in aviation community, our passengers, our guests, that they trust us and they believe in us. And I always tell our team that trust brings loyalty, and loyalty brings long-term relationship. And for us, is earning the trust of our clients has been so important that they are guaranteed when they arrive their vehicles are ready, and that trust builds the loyalty to our brand, and that loyalty to our brand has created a long life relationship with our partners and our clients and our guests. So thank you for inviting me, and you have been a great friend and mentor and a great supporter. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I look forward to seeing you at the Living Legends on January 17th.
Looking forward to it as well. Thank you again very much. Wishing you all the best for your 30th year and moving forward and everything that I know you're going to continue to do. So thanks for the time and everything. And I'll see you in a little under 2 weeks.
Yeah. Thank you, Vince. Have a beautiful day and Happy New Year to you and your audiences.
All right. Thank you. Hey, thanks for watching and listening to this very special first episode of 2025. All things aviation and aerospace. As you just heard, Kaye Gitibin, the co-founder and CEO of Go Rentals, is an amazing, talented, inspiring aviation-centric entrepreneur who literally created a highly specialized niche in our aviation industry and, for that matter, the car rental industry. So it's appropriate that on January 17th, as I mentioned earlier, he will be honored as the Eren Ozmen Aviation Entrepreneur of the Year at the Living Legends of Aviation Awards Gala at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills, California. All Things Aviation and Aerospace is a production of the Private Air Media Group and is available as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts and as a webcast on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You know, my primary objective with doing this aviation and aerospace career show is to let the up and coming generation know about the plethora of opportunities and possibilities in our amazing industry, to support their parents, teachers, counselors, professors, and advisors' encouragement efforts, and to provide guidance on what path might work best and how to move forward. More to come. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, safe flying if you're a pilot like me, and all the best.